This half hour of Talk to the Experts on CKOM, a presentation of Trusted Saskatoon, Trustedsaskatoon.com, and something a little bit different on this edition of our Trustedsaskatoon.com expert show. In past, when you hear us on with Sarah Wheelwright, the owner, the founder of Trustedsaskatoon.com, she usually has brought along some people from businesses that are part of Trustedsaskatoon.com. But today we're going to give you everything you ever wanted to know about Trustedsaskatoon.com. So we're joined by the owner and founder, Sarah Wheelwright, and her chief number one Trusted Saskatoon consultant, Heather Boyko, here as well. Sarah, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Heather, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Brent.
And we have got a mittful of questions today.
Oh, we do.
You know, every time that we have guests in where you bring along business representatives from people who are part of Trusted Saskatoon, we get a few pages of questions. These are questions that fans of Trusted Saskatoon have submitted, or people that want to know more about Trusted Saskatoon at your Facebook page. And that's a real easy way to find out more about this great Saskatchewan company. Certainly their website, Trustedsaskatoon.com. Go to Facebook and look up Trusted Saskatoon there as well to find out more and to submit your questions, because it can always pay off. Every time we do a show and we go through some questions, we end up giving away some prizes. Usually it's 1, 2 prizes. Today, how many prizes?
We have 10 prizes for 10 people.
Wow. Well, we have got 7 or 8 pages of questions here.
That always helps get the questions, of course.
I could always start off like I normally do. Tell us about TrustedSaskatoon.com, but we don't have to, because I know that's some of our questions that people that are new to Saskatoon or new finding out about TrustedSaskatoon.com that they're going to be asking. So shall we get underway?
Absolutely. And the reason we kind of did this is because we just kept on getting the odd, once or twice a week, either through Twitter or through the Facebook page or through the site itself or out in the community, because we like to get out there and active in the community as well and support community events. We just always get asked, so what is it and how do you do that and what about this, and I don't think they should be trusted, and all of these kind of things come back. So we figured there was enough questions out there for us to come and answer them, and we asked for the hard ones too. So
TrustedSaskatoon.com, Sarah Wheelwright, the owner, and the 30-second rundown on what exactly TrustedSaskatoon.com is. You're a directory, right?
I guess, yeah, we're an online directory and resource library of, and all of the businesses on there are locally accountable businesses, and they have all gone through the process, which many people are curious about. And we really care. We work for the consumer. We find these businesses and we do all of the running around, so you as a consumer just gets to go there and choose and know you've got a great business.
We'll get into a lot more detail on that whole process, because so many of the questions posted to the TrustedSaskatoon.com Facebook page pertain to that. Our first question comes from Trish. Trish, thank you. She says, hello, Sarah. Wondering what the process is a business has to go through to become a trusted partner.
So when a business kind of lands in our lap, so to speak, the first thing we do is kind of just have a look around online. Online reputation is really important, and we want to find out a little bit about this company before we contact them. And when we contact them, Heather goes along and she will go see the business, and we run through a presentation which is about Trusted. Very, very different. It's not really a sales presentation. It's an information session. It's to see if there's a fit between what we are looking for and what they do. If we do find there's a fit from both sides, because again, it's not kind of a pay your money and off you go. I mean, we're forming a partnership here. It's very important that these businesses understand that, it's not cash for endorsement, and we do expect things from them. If at the end they wish to then apply, we then ask for a lot of information from them. Mm-hmm. And things like what business license would be one, to make sure that they have, the correct licensing. Insurance. We don't ask for their policy numbers. We just want to make sure that they are insured with business insurance, the carrier, to make sure it's still, within date. We also, if they need any qualifications to do what they do, like a lawyer, for example, we want to make sure that they have the correct qualifications, that they're part of the Law Society. With things like realtors and lawyers and things like that, we also want to know, have you had any fines, any complaints, within your industry? And we ask them outright. I mean, a lot of these things, certainly with the Real Estate Association, it's not made public. So we ask them outright, and then if we find out later on, and believe me, if there's any skeletons in the closet, people will break their necks to come and tell us. We ask that business, it hasn't actually happened, but we'd ask that business, why did you not tell us about that? And then from there, they have to provide us with 25 of their past clients' contact details.
So you do get a customer reference base then?
We do indeed. And then we call a random portion of that. So depending on how it's going, the survey is, it's quite a brief survey, but we've been on the phone sometimes up to half an hour talking to people, and, they've been telling us their experience with the business. Some of these people have been clients of businesses for years and years and have so many stories that they get to tell. And what it comes down to is we rate them. We rate them on the experience. We rate them on the things they've said. We don't just expect businesses to just do things perfect every time, because that's not realistic. So if the business over the time that you've dealt with them as a client that's been surveyed has messed up, how did they deal with that? That's an important part of the process too. And we ask the people that we speak to, do you really think that they deserve to be part of Trusted? If we get some that maybe rate a 7 out of 10, we'll call another 5 people and another 5 people, and we take kind of the median. I've got to say that most of the businesses that we have on the site have had 9s and 10s.
Have you ever turned a business down?
We have. We've turned quite a few down now.
Good to know. Good to know. And this follows along with Adrian's question, the next one. She says she's heard that I can simply pay a fee and become part of the Trusted list.
No, that you don't pay to be trusted. You qualify to be trusted, and then the businesses pay into, I guess, the marketing agency, which is what we is, because, it would be a great idea, but if nobody knew about it, then it's not going to work. So we need to get the word out there, and unless Rolco's going to give us free radio advertising and, the Star Phoenix is going to let us advertise for free, we need to let people know. So that's where the money comes from. And also we need to be compensated for the time and the due diligence that we do. So it's important we're upfront with that from the very beginning.
Everything you want to know about Trustedsaskatoon.com. That's the theme of our expert show today. All of these questions have been submitted by people who have gone to the Trustedsaskatoon.com Facebook page. Gina says, as a consumer, what can you promise me in my search for help? I guess she's looking for some kind of a commitment to her as a consumer.
Yeah. Well, we're all busy, and I think the first thing we can do is make your life a lot easier. When you hire a contractor or go find a lawyer, that you really should be asking around to see the reputation of the businesses that you're dealing with. Well, we do that, and we do it in so much more detail than you ever would as a consumer. We also do it every year. So every year the businesses have to requalify. And we don't just expect businesses to, just once a year. We're seeing them all the time. We're in touch with them all the time, which is why we only have 3 businesses maximum per category, because we couldn't possibly handle 1,000 businesses or 500 businesses. We wouldn't be able to do a good job. So we need to keep the numbers manageable for us. When the businesses become part of Trusted, they sign a contract. And it's not the same as just, I've sold advertising before. It's not, here you are, you're going to pay, and this is what we want you to do. Right. With us, it's these are the 5 trusted guarantees, and on the contract they're on there, and you've got to sign to uphold them. Provide the service and quality promised. Complete the job on time. Charge the price quoted with no surprises. Communicate honestly and be responsive to customer needs, and resolve any issues with customer satisfaction in mind. So these are the things that you were contracted to.
Okay, one more quick question before the break. Sierra says, when it came to starting your company, was it a negative experience at a business that caused you to develop Trustedsaskatoon.com?
It was a combination of a couple of things. It was a negative experience of arriving here as a newcomer to Canada and not having any social people or groups around me to help me when I didn't know anybody. I didn't know nothing. I didn't know where to get anything, and things are called different things here, and struggled and whatever. And everybody's advertising tells you they're great, and everybody's website tells you they're great. But you really rely on that community around you. If you don't know anybody, it's tricky. So that was the first thing. Somewhere to go that was going to make my life easier coming here. And then I did end up having a bad experience with a contractor a couple of years later, and I realized it's not just newcomers. So those experiences put together, and I was looking for solutions, and my background is advertising and marketing. I'd also sold Yellow Pages years ago in the UK, and I just felt that the directory format is so simple, because it's all there, alpha listed, it's all there, but I just felt that directories that were there didn't have any standards, and there's nothing really out there that cares about the consumer. It's all about looking after their client, and to be honest, most businesses don't care. Yellow Pages don't care if the biggest ad in the roofing section is a guy that really doesn't have any morals or integrity, as long as they pay the bill.
Exactly. And that's the different story at Trustedsaskatoon.com. And it's interesting, you talking about you moving here. I notice in going through these pages of questions, we see comments from people who have recently moved here from Ontario and other parts of Canada saying this is just the kind of thing they were looking for. More of our Trustedsaskatoon.com experts when we return in just 2 minutes on News Talk Radio. Continuing on our discussion with Trustedsaskatoon.com this weekend, and unlike our past Trustedsaskatoon.com shows where we bring in business people that are part of Trustedsaskatoon.com, this weekend it's everything you want to know about this great Saskatchewan-based company. Sarah Wheelwright, the owner, and also Heather Boyko, a trusted consultant. Heather, we're going to fire this next question to you. You good to go?
Absolutely.
Susie wants to know, do you ever have businesses you picked that fall below your standard at a later date?
Well, absolutely. First off, they're not really businesses that we've picked. Generally, the businesses are nominated by the public or by other trusted partners. Mm-hmm. And, we have had situations where in our mystery shopping, which is something that we do on an annual basis.
Oh, so you go as part of your monitoring of your business partners? Oh, okay.
Absolutely. We have had businesses fail mystery shops and really kind of fail miserably. And in that case, we have had to have that hard conversation with that business and just dissolve the partnership and part ways.
She makes a good point. She says if they use this honor in their advertising, saying they're part of TrustedSaskatoon.com, do we as consumers trust that they consistently maintain their trustworthiness and high standards? Well, it's like you were saying earlier, nobody's perfect and things change, but you do keep a good eye monitoring these situations.
Well, we do, and we don't rely on complaints. We are active in the thing about directories. In the past, has been very passive. They've laid under a monitor like you have here, Brent, or they've laid in a drawer. Where we actually get out and we're doing things. We're actively involved in the community, and we're looking and we're listening all of the time. And as I said, with social media, whispers pass very, very quickly around. So, and we tell businesses from the get-go. If you got anything to hide, let us know now.
How many categories on TrustedSaskatoon.com?
There are 40 different categories of business on Trusted Saskatoon and 3 businesses per category.
Okay, so with that, our next question comes from Erica, and she wants to know, she says, is there really only one trusted carpet cleaner in all of Saskatoon? Is that because they're really that bad, or just because none others have applied?
That's a great question. In that specific category, the cleaning category, we wanted a well-rounded category, so we have 3 different types of businesses in that category specifically. There is the one carpet cleaner in Saskatoon that has been given the thumbs up by Trusted, and that's not to say that every other carpet cleaner does a bad job.
Right.
What that says is that Hal was put forward to us, Saskatoon Carpet
many
Cleaning
times
was put forward to us. He appreciates the opportunity. He really values his partnership, and he does a fantastic job for people.
Okay, another question. This from Tammy Ruda. Can a home business become a member of TrustedSaskatoon.com?
Absolutely, they could. We don't make a distinction between whether you have a brick and mortar store or whether you are running your business from home.
We are.
Yes, as a matter of fact.
Exactly, you are, yes.
Sarah and myself run our offices from home, and so there absolutely is no distinction. You go through the same verification process as any other business that would apply, and you then enjoy the same benefits of partnership.
And if there's room in that category?
Absolutely, then you can jump on board.
Okay, Sarah, on this one, this is from Matthew. He says, what happens in the event of a trusted company losing its trusted status? What information is given to the public if this happens?
Okay, so there's many reasons why a business might not be on the directory anymore. There may be internal things happening with the business, and they decide to leave for one reason or another. It might be a case where the business is no longer operational, or somebody's retired or whatever. And occasionally it's because we've taken them from the directory. Now, this is not something that we do lightly. If somebody complains, and we have had people complain to us, and we get probably one complaint every couple of months across the province, we have a process. We have a dispute resolution process. And the first thing we want to do is have an amicable resolution to the process. That doesn't mean that everyone's going to be happy at the end of it. But what we want to make sure is we take people back to the 5 trusted guarantees. So if somebody complains to us and they complain because, they took their car to the mechanic and the trusted mechanic wanted to charge them more than they thought they should be charged.
Right.
That's nothing to do with us.
Right.
We don't have any contract about how much a business can charge. And generally trusted businesses aren't the cheapest. So if you want the cheapest, go to Kijiji and take your chances there.
Exactly.
That's not what we do.
Yeah.
But when a company is given the chance to put things right, if they do not put things right to our satisfaction, then we will remove them. We do not announce that. There's lots of places on the internet that you can be negative. Trusted is a place of positivity. We're all about supporting great businesses, about helping people choose. And what we know for sure is the businesses on the directory that we have, that we stand by, we do stand by them. And if it comes to the point where we don't, you can rely on us to remove them.
Well, and seriously, you can't start saying a bunch of negative stuff about a business on your business site anyway.
And it's not what I want to do.
No.
It's not what Trusted is about.
So talk to me a little bit about then the complaint process. I'm a customer, and I've dealt with somebody who is a Trustedsaskatoon.com business, and I do have a concern. Do I complain to you or do I go to the business? I guess it really depends on what the status or the nature of the complaint is.
It's funny. Like, some people come straight to us in the business, have no idea that the client that they've just dealt with or might have dealt with months ago is actually unhappy. We would always suggest that the first thing you do is complain to the business itself, and if you're not getting anywhere with the person who you dealt with, go higher. If you don't feel like you're getting anywhere at that point, then it's time to come to us. And then what we do is we actually look at, again, the guarantees, like I said, but we also look at the process from this point of view. If we were in a room with 100 people and you told us your issue and the company told them their issue, would they believe that you were being reasonable? Because the customer isn't always right. And a business has the right to choose who they deal with, just like the consumer does. So we don't say that you're always going to be right, but we're there for fairness, and we have a criteria that we go by, and we stick to that.
Tess wants to know, how is Trustedsaskatoon.com different than the Better Business Bureau?
That's something we get asked quite a lot, actually, because the Better Business Bureau don't really explain a lot of what they do. But in essence, what the Better Business Bureau do is dispute resolution, but they don't, it's more kind of via letter, backwards and forwards, where we actually pick up the phone and talk to the business owner. We only have 120 maximum businesses per city that we're in. The Better Business Bureau has over 1,000 members across the province with the same number of staff that we do, and they have about 7,000 to 8,000 listings. So even if they were superhuman, they couldn't do the due diligence of what we did. And really, the Better Business Bureau there, and it has a great history, and we certainly look at somebody's rating as part of the online review when we do that. The Better Business Bureau is there to help you if you have a complaint. We're there to stop the problems happening in the first place.
Final question. This comes from Lindsay. This is a good one. I've been hearing about Trusted. I own a business. How will Trusted help me in my business grow?
Well, lots of ways. Certainly, if you have a great business and you believe that customer service is important to you, then we're a great place for you to be. If you're a small business, which a lot of our businesses are, that perhaps don't have huge budgets, what we can do is we can expand the reach of your business and tell thousands and thousands and thousands of people about you. We've actually had over 78,000 people visit the site, Trustedsaskatoon.com.
Boy, that's impressive.
82% of those, and that's just within 2 years, are from Saskatchewan. Nearly 65% of those are from Saskatoon. So if you are wanting local buyers, then we can prove that this is the place to be. Some of our businesses are getting a call or an email a day via Trusted. We're very cost effective as well. If you really know your stuff about your industry, you can go and tell people and you can be a speaker. But what we allow you to do through the tips and the resource library is really be known for being the best at what you are, and sharing that information freely with the public. We have had blogs, some of our blogs and tips have been read 500-600 people a day. So I think it's and you're a member of a community. The trusted businesses do a lot of business between themselves as well. A lot of friendships have been made, and we really kind of promote that we are this community of businesses that are really, by the way that we do business, is going to raise standards from the people that aren't doing business as well as we are.
Well said. And just like Saskatoon, it's a community that just continues to grow day by day.
Absolutely.
Everything you wanted to know. Hope we covered off a lot of those questions people have about Trustedsaskatoon.com. Sarah Wheelwright, the owner. Heather Boyko, Trusted Consultant. Thanks for joining us this weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we know that 10 of the people that ask questions out of the 8 or 9 pages that we have will be selected and will be contacted by Trustedsaskatoon.com, each winning a wonderful prize. Thanks again.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Brent.
You've been listening to Talk to the Experts on News Talk Radio.